Moving now to the local market. So now you have all of that contextual information in your head. Now we're going to talk about Barloworld. Interestingly, the core business of Barloworld is exactly that they are the franchise owner, the distributor of Caterpillar and Bucyrus equipment here in southern Africa, which means sub-Saharan Africa, I think. Also Iberia. So at some point in Barloworld's history, they bought the distribution business in Iberia. And Iberia in this case means Spain and Portugal. Spain, an economy that went through dire straits but has had a pretty solid rebound since. And then also Siberia. So you've got Iberia and Siberia. So it's not the whole of Russia, but a particular part of Russia in which there are many mining and other related infrastructure projects. So that's interesting. This is a business, but remember, it doesn't only have that. It's also got a bunch of businesses in motor retail, as Mia mentioned a bit earlier, car rental, which is the Avis business here in Southern Africa, and well as fleet management and motor logistics and logistics generally. That's clearing and distribution and all the sort of stuff associated with a low-end logistics business in this market. You put all of that together and Clive Thompson, CEO's business, is worth 21.3 billion rand on the South African market. So you can see pretty solid player. Dividend yield 3.46%, price to earnings ratio of 10.48. So again, a company that does well, is well managed, but the market is giving it a fairly low price to earnings ratio, telling you that there's a little bit of anxiety about earnings visibility going forward.
I think it's very, spot on. So when you consider how they've done against the market over the last 5 years, they had a shoot-out period, which was in 2010, and that is basically the only time they outperformed the market. So yeah, the last couple of years been difficult for these sort of companies to have sustainable, strong performance due to the fact that they've got such a large part of their business in the capital intensive equipment sort of rental and supply chain, like you mentioned. They have a very impressive, relationship with most people that they do business with here locally. They've got one of the most state-of-the-art, it's more like a training facility in South Africa. It's in the south, and I think in Alberton,
right,
where they actually teach everyone that uses their Caterpillar products to operate them to their best ability, and then also they service them there, they re-engineer them whenever that's needed, etc. So it's one of 7 plants in the world. So they've got a close relationship with Caterpillar, and they probably like our local entry into Caterpillar, if you want to say that.
So what you're saying is that within the Caterpillar context,
Yes.
Barloworld is regarded as one of their sort of preeminent and best operated global partners, and that they do all that training and that they operate at least as well here as they do anywhere in the world.
Well, it seems like it, Paul. So I think if you own a Caterpillar in South Africa, you don't have to worry that you're not getting the sort of service that Caterpillar would
Let's have a look at the
require.
share price, because again, that's a 5-year chart, and as you say, 40 as it comes in out of the post wipeout period of the 2008 suspension of everything that was not tied down, has not done too badly. Goes all the way from 40 to 100, but running out of steam a little bit. So we did see the recovery in Spain, and we did see the mining capital cycle looking a lot better, and we saw them roll out Bucyrus equipment in the coal mines here and elsewhere in sub-Saharan Africa, still selling lots of dump trucks and so on into the open cast mining sector, Kumba iron ore, customers like that, people in the DRC, Zambia, and so on doing well, and even in the most recent results, not doing too badly.
Yes.
But now there's a bit of a worry that a lot of mining companies are really, really pulling in their horns now.
Yeah, and I think an important factor to remember is that over the last reporting year for all these companies, we had nearly a 4-month strike in the platinum industry.
Okay, and the other thing that's positive about this, because it's easy to be negative in an environment like this, is that Spain is definitely doing way better. People thought Spain was a real disaster case, but to be fair, a lot of what happened in Spain in the boom years was infrastructure and building-led boom related to tourism and building like apartments on the Costa Bravo and so on and so forth. That all fell in a heap and unemployment went through the roof, but Spain has really recovered quite nicely. Unemployment's coming down, the bond prices have kind of come in, indicating that Spain is seen as a quality credit again, and so on and so forth. So that's offshore earnings coming out of euros and coming into Barloworld's profit statements at an elevated level relative to the rand, which is going to be helpful. That's a big plus, right?
That is a big plus. And, you know, the Russian factor that you mentioned earlier was
I was
not
afraid
that
you were going to say
positive.
that because, I
So-
mean, the Siberian thing must be really
Exactly.
bad.
So
The
it-
ruble's gone to the dogs.
There we go. So it's actually been balancing each other out to an extent. And also, you know, we know the euro is not performing its best to the rand. So even though the dollar is stronger, the euro is not that strong. So it might not
okay.
have that massive impact coming from there.
Okay, so again, it all comes down
Yes.
to the mix. We know that the share price has run out of a little bit of steam.
Yeah.
Well-run company, Clive Thompson and his team,
Very
super
well run.
da-da-da-da-da. But in the final analysis, probably not.
Probably not too hot. I'd rather be invested in something that gives me better market exposure.
Yeah, and better visibility. So
Yeah.
probably priced correctly the
Yes.
current market. Okay, so we're going to go not hot on that one as well.